in order to do that, somebody would have to make a motion and it'd have to be seconded. And you can do that just for the sake of debate. Because you can't vote unless there's a motion. And so that would be this first step. Somebody make a motion to sign a quick claim deed with no compensation, somebody second it, you debate it, and then you vote on it, and if you turn that down, then you've made a decision, and then there's another decision to make after that. But I think we need to, we've spent an hour on this, we need to, you know, decide which way this committee wants to recommend to the board.
Well, on the agenda, it says discussion on the property deed. Does it say anything about it?
That is a good point. That's why my first question was to the attorney is there a deadline? And they have a deadline of 60 days. If we just table it, we'll bring it to the, we can just take it to the full county board with no recommendation, I guess. I'm asking is, do you want to provide direction to staff? You know, we're the people who work for the board. And the question is, do you want to give us any direction to do any research or have any recommendation or background information to come back to the full board in January? Or we'll just put this on the agenda in January and we'll have the same discussion with no further research. And that's fine too. That's up to you guys to decide.
Well, a question about that. Matt made a suggestion that we research this further. It doesn't have to be done. We got 2 months to decide this. Why wouldn't it come back to the executive committee so we can make a recommendation?
That's all I'm looking for is direction. I'm looking for direction. And so I'm asking for direction. So,
Yeah,
My big concern goes right back to the original comments. I'm concerned that we're talking about this land that's supposed to be for the public, saying the trail would be public, but if Enbridge puts a line through it, that may not or may be public. I'm concerned with that. If it doesn't become or stay public land, then it should revert back to the county and we decide what to do with it. That Enbridge solution is not keeping it in the public domain. So that needs to be answered somehow, is if the county says, okay, we give it to the city without any conditions, how do we keep this as public? Because the original deed says it stays public. And if Enbridge runs a line through there, it's not going to be public unless they can tell us somehow different. So I would like that. I'm not comfortable with going forward with this in its current form unless we get that answer.
The city is requiring that the trails remain and be open to the public.
The trails. I'm talking about where the line is running. That's through the same property. That may not, don't tell me that you know that that's going to be remaining public. The trail is here, and here's the pipeline. Does that land that pipeline go through when it's done, will that become state public? Or is Enbridge going to say you stay the heck off our property?
If there's a condition similar to that to lift the restriction, I'm confident the city and Enbridge would work some arrangement to keep the surface all open to the public.
But see, my constituents want to know that. My constituents, who I represent, are saying it's public land, we want to see it maintained as public land. Now, if the city can show us that, then maybe I can argue that.
I mean, I'd be happy to bring something back to the county after working with Enbridge for the county to review before issuing a quick claim deed that would address those concerns.
That was where I was kind of thinking some of this agreements could be worked out as far as, there could be a deeded easement in there for the North Country Trail, and if there's another trail through there, I know that old boardwalk is in dilapidated repairs and hasn't been used, and it doesn't truly connect to the park anyhow. But I do support the North Country Trail and outdoor recreation, and I think there could be some things done that would give some sort of assurance that that's going to happen through a deed restriction if all parties are agreeable. But I don't think we're going to work that out here today, and I would like to have those discussions, or see those discussions be had before we say absolutely not.
But if there was direction, going back with Larson, direction for even the city to go back and work with Enbridge on, that the county wants to see, or at least this committee, that'd be very helpful to the city. to know where to take those discussions to try to move this purchase agreement forward. That we could come up with some of those issues to address the county's concerns.
I would like to see the full county board's participation because we can make a decision and then the full county board talks about it and it gets voted one way or the other. I still would like to see the full county board have this discussion. And if they're comfortable with someone coming back and saying this is how the land would be used, that's fine. If they're not, because we represent the whole county, I'd like to see the whole county board talk about this.
What they think is have a recommendation from this board.
Recommend that the full county board discuss this because we could, like you say, I'm just one person, there's 20 others. And I'm concerned, like you say, my concern is that the public needs to maintain the ability to use this property.
Could I just add to that, Cliff, as far as the public use? I know that the farmers, I know they plow and they farm over lines that Enbridge has up north in Minnesota. You're talking something on the line of surface rights. I mean, we walk on public utilities all the time. I don't know if anybody's ever dug a hole in Copper Falls State Park. Nobody allows that. You're talking, you're talking subsurface and you're talking surface. I mean, I can't speak for Enbridge, honestly, but I mean, as far as construction and maintenance of something, possible they keep them out. Obviously, they don't want nobody to get hurt, but I'm sure there's plenty of people that's walked over the line all the way through these states, so I don't see where that would be a problem.
I would just like to add that I was the mayor in 1991 that created North Country Trail with Gaylord Yost. And the first time we negotiated with Enbridge, we insisted that they put North Country Trail in there, that it will exist. And it is part of the contract that my council passed and that they agreed to. There is no way we're going to eliminate North Country Trail. And if we don't eliminate North Country Trail, the land will always be ours. You're talking about it reverts back to the county as long as the North Country Trail, and we insist that North Country Trail, you can't take it away from us. So I mean, I understand you want more information and all that, but it's going to boil down to a few little facts, and that's all,
But facts are important, and again, you're missing the point. The public trail is here, they can say all they want about that, the rest of the land is what I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
The entire piece of property, according to this,
Yeah.
needs to be maintained as public land. And that's what I want to see the county board talk about, and if the county board's comfortable with that, whatever, I'm fine with it. But my constituents, who I represent, and that's why I was elected, are telling me clearly, with no objection, that land needs to stay public. Now, what that means can be a little different. But if Enbridge puts a pipeline through that property, when it's done, I want to see something that says that the public will still have the right to go onto that property.
well, it was part of that agreement that we passed. It was part of that. We insisted, the second time around, we insisted they put it in, and they did.
Is the whole property, Joe?
Yeah.
The whole property will be held open
Yeah,
for the
right.
public?
Right. So, I agree with you, Sam, but we've already covered that. We created this. Rick Kern would like to say a few words.
Yes. Hi, I'm Rich Kern, I'm with Enbridge. The public purpose, if that's an important thing for the county to go through with the sale, Enbridge, lots of places we have pipelines that the park's right over the top of them. It's an underground facility. It's certainly an accommodation, we're willing to make with the city and the county as part of the sale that we, probably the only time we'd want to restrict people is during construction, and afterwards it would be open. We would make it open to the public either by, agreement or, some other arrangement, so it does stay in public purpose. We have no issues or problem with that, so.
Are you familiar with the recent law that the Wisconsin legislature passed in regard to those corridors, utility corridors that would make trespassing a felony rather than a misdemeanor? And where's your lobby on that? How did they weigh in on that? I want some answers there. And I'll talk to some of the senators and assembly people and get the information if I have to.